Hello, and welcome to the Tangled Skein CA. My name is Sue, also known as Crafty Knitter 7 on Instagram and Ravelry. I've been gone for a while, about 8 months or so. Lots been going on. I did an update on my Ravelry page, so if you want to know what's been going on in the last 8 months, I pretty much sum it up there. But I do want to recognize that my father passed away on Halloween, and from there I just kind of didn't have the motivation to record. I've been on Instagram a lot, but a lot's been going on, let's just say that. We moved. We weren't planning on moving, but we moved. Then we went on a cruise for my 50th birthday. And then after that, we came back to renovate our old house. Which we had not sold yet, and that took a few months. But mid to third week of July, we finally sold that. But it was a lot of work, a lot of sweat and tears and anger and happiness and all kinds of stuff all mixed together. But we survived and we sold it, and we're pretty happy. Finally feeling comfortable in the new house. Finally emptying the last few boxes in my craft room, which I can say is twice the size. I'm so happy. If you do follow me on Instagram, there's been photos of my craft room. I think I put a video up, so if you're curious to see it, I'll probably take some more photos. I'm testing out some new lighting today. I have a light on either side of me, one up there, and an umbrella light to see if that actually helps, because struggling with lighting was a problem before. Anyhow, let me just grab my drink here. So, I'd like to welcome any returning viewers. Thank you for sticking around, poking your head in to see if I was going to record anytime soon. I put a feeler out there a few weeks ago, and people said they would love to see me on again. This is episode 7, by the way, of the Tangled Skein CA. Some of you might know me from Two Tangled Skeins, former podcast I did with a friend. We stopped doing that last July, and kind of just went our own separate ways. So I'm calling this, I'm back, and 7 is my lucky number, because today is episode 7, and I'm going with that. 2019, the rest of 2019 will be even better than the beginning. It's going to be great. So let's get right into things. I have my show notes on the screen here, which I'm struggling with. So sorry. Struggling with a mouse for 2 screens. So I have a finished object. 1. Haven't finished much lately, but I finished 1. And it just so happens to be a sample knit, a booth sample for Arctic Crafts, and her name is Bente. Bente and I met via Instagram, funnily, that's not a word, amazingly I should say, and it all started off about David's tea. She posted something on my Instagram saying she would love David's tea, but she lives in Norway and can't really get it. And we have been friends ever since. We have talked pretty much every single day. There's not too many days that go by that I don't talk to her. So she's my bestie across the world. I did this cowl for her, and this is called Togetherness Cowl by Mary Keena. So let me just show you the other side. It's less wrinkled. This was in a bag. So this cowl, and get up close so you can see the stitch. Beautiful stitch. Knits and purls. That's it. That's all it is. And it's super stretchy. And the yarn is fine merino DK, and this is the antique gold colorway. It's kind of it's not coming out quite as gold as it should be, but yeah, I knit this on size 4 millimeters, which is a US 6, and I absolutely love it. But it's not staying with me. It's going to Norway very soon, probably tomorrow. Yeah, so it was a great knit. Her yarn is amazing. This stuff is like butter. It's like knitting with butter. It's just so nice. So let me put that away. Oh, excuse my reach. So that's the only finished thing. You know, I have been knitting. I've been knitting a bit on this, a bit on that, frogging a whole bunch of things. Just kind of doing what I want, when I want, how I want. You know how it rolls. I am knitting on my husband's socks, which I have sock blockers right here. But of course, do you think I can get them out? Nope. Give me one quick second. I've got too much stuff everywhere is the problem. You know, problems as people do have. I'm so not prepared. There we go. Yarn everywhere. So let me grab the finished one. And I probably would have been finished both of them a while ago, but I kind of goofed, and I'll explain that in a minute on the second sock. So these are like really long. I use the whole 50-gram ball, and I don't think I've ever knit him socks this long, but he seems to like them. Sorry, I'm just adjusting it. It's just kind of all twisted. So this is it in all of its glory. And this sock pattern is, where is it? Toe Up Socks with a Difference by Kate Atherley. This is Knit Picks Felici, and this is the Baker Street colorway, and I called these the blues socks. The only thing I don't really like is the gray just does not, you can see it, but like there's, where is it, right here? Yeah, right here. Like you can see it on screen, but in real life you can't really see the change all that much. But anyways, that's one sock done, so half object, and I have the other one on the needles. So it's here, the heel is done, but I made a mistake. When I was done the heel, I started doing one by one all the way around, and I got a good 2 inches, and then realized, what am I doing? It should be 2 by 2. So I put it away because I was upset, and I thought I had done a lot more than I did. When I pulled it out and realized it was only 2 inches, I ripped it back, and back on the needles, going well, loving it. I just want to show you my stitch marker here, my progress keeper. Are you gonna focus? There you go. That is a progress creeper from Progress Creeper. What the heck? That's a progress keeper from Kate, and she has the Hawthorne Cottage Crafts podcast. So I love that because my husband's Irish, and I have that little Irish progress keeper on there, so I think it's cute. So let's go to what else I have on the needle. This one here. I finished that cowl, and I wanted to pick back up a pattern I started at Knit City last year. Got the pattern from Marsha, who's fairlylittle. Bought the yarn, cast it on. I'm like half done. Sorry for the crinkling, but it is the Zig Zag Shawl by Martha. Oh my God, I'm sorry, Marsha. Oh, words. Marsha Ibuki. And this is knit out of West Coast Color. I don't think I have a ball band in here. Just let me, no, there's no ball band. So I picked this back up when I finished, yay me, I'm not in the middle of the row. Wow, I'm all over the place. I picked this up when I finished the cowl because I need to finish this before Knit City next year. Oh, sorry, next year. In October, which is like a month-ish away. And this is beautiful. So you can see why she called it Zig Zag. And the yarn, it is the Rainforest colorway, and this is a DK, and it's called, the base is called Fits of Giggles Too, and this is a 4.5 millimeter, which is a US 7. But look at the depth of those colors. Can you? Oh, it's just, yep, it's just amazing. Her yarn is really nice to work with. This pattern, pretty much mindless. Yeah, I absolutely love it, and I want to get it done. And it's going to be huge. I think I bought 6 skeins of this. So that is on the needles, and I've got my cute little sheep that I made myself. This is going to be a mess when I'm done. Ooh, I'm just throwing things everywhere. The other thing I have, oh, and I wanted to say, this bag, I have a bit of an addiction for bags. If you know me, you know that. More bags than I need, or more holes in the head than I need. Oh, there's no, that's weird. So I bought this from the Tangled Stitch shop, but there's no, I'll show you the other bag I have because I want to show you her logo. So there we go, the Tangled Stitch shop, and I love her bags. I have a little bit of an obsession with her bags. I might have upwards of 8, maybe more, and her notion pouches too. Yeah, I'm addicted. I'm a bag maker. Bag makers love buying bags from other bag makers, right? Right. So I love this. I have a little notions pouch that goes with it. But that, yeah. So the other thing I cast on, and Bente, should be called the Bente Show because I'm probably not pronouncing it right, am I? Bente? I think that's how you pronounce it. So I'm doing the Besties for Life shawl by Cozy Up Knits, and the whole premise of this is to take 4 colorways that you and your bestie like, split them in 2, you each get half of each of the 4 skeins. So she did that, and she's a yarn dyer, did I tell you? So I may, just may, have received yarn from her for this. So she sent me yarn, and so she dyed up, excuse the crinkles, she dyed up a gradient. I think she pretty much did my colors because she's more into the purples and things. So she dyed up a gradient. And so the one here, that's the antique gold. This one is vintage tobacco. These are yet to be named. So these are the 4 colors. And my shawl, which I've only barely just begun, and she's whizzed through the first section already because Lace and her are best friends. Lace and I, not so much. So this is what I've got so far. Let me just, I gotta get used to this whole centering thing. So that's the lace, and I got about that much done, and I pick it up here and there when I can. So that is the Besties for Life shawl by Cozy Up Knits. That's Arctic Craft. Yeah, it's the Merino Strong Fine, and I'm knitting this on a size 4 millimeter, which is a US 6. And the bag I'm using was a belated present from a friend, and it is a Jezebel B. So I have one of these in kind of a green khaki army color, and I wanted to get one of the smaller ones, but when I went to twist, I just thought they were too small, so I just didn't bother. Well, my friend Rachel, who I also work with and knit with at lunch, she didn't know which one I wanted. So she thought it was a medium or a large, so she bought a medium or a large, and then I decided, well, I'll take this one, and she actually really wanted the large, so she kept it. But this one just has a beige interior, and I love this detail here, this canvas, this is leather. The only thing I'm going to do is here and here, I'm going to put some snaps in, because I do love this part, but I want to make sure when I fold it over that nothing will fall out. So that is that. So I covered those. The last thing that I am knitting on is actually a test knit for Megan of PipandPin. She's Canadian. She will be at Knit City, and so I'm knitting the Noni top, and today's the deadline. I'm almost there. I've got a little bit of a hem and the sleeves to do. So just don't want to show you any of the pattern because, you know, test knit. So this is it. So this is a beautiful textured stitch, and then at the end you can choose this ribbed sleeve or this little I-cord, I believe it is. I didn't look, but look at the texture. Isn't that stunning? Oh, love it. And I'll see her at Knit City. So last year I did the Moraine shawl. Was it the Moraine? No, not the Moraine. I did a shawl as a test knit, and I met the designer last year, so that. So let's pull this out. Just show you the yarn first. Now this is Night Owl Fibers, and this is, let me find it on here, Basic Sock, and this is called Poison Apple. Let's see if it focuses. Come on, there we go. You can see like all the little flecks. There's dark flecks and red flecks. It's just absolutely stunning. Now, where is this? This is the back, this is the front. Okay, so here it is. Oh, this way. So it's a bit more green apple, but it must be the lighting, because the true color really is, like, you're seeing it better here. Come on, there we go. So this texture, look at this. Oh, it's just gorgeous. So I've done, the back hem is done. And so it's in a, I think it's twisted rib. You knit one, purl through the back loop, purl one, knit through the back loop, and it gives this super crisp ribbing. And I did the Jenny's Surprisingly Stretchy bind off, and so I'm on the front part now, and I have a tiny bit more. Then I can get the sleeves done. I know it looks super wide, but part of this is the shoulder and it goes down. I did not alternate skeins for this, nothing. When you look at it in real life, you can't tell that this is indie dyed yarn. Like, Rachel does an amazing job with her yarns. If ever you have the chance to purchase her yarns, oh, she's amazing with colors. This is what's left to do the edge, the front hem, so I'm hoping that's enough, and then I've got a tiny bit more there that I can use. So those are my projects. I'll show a little bit of stash, but not a lot. I didn't buy any yarn for myself at Twist. I bought a skein of yarn for Shella, who's the baddie knitter, by the way, and I bought a skein of yarn for a swap partner, and that's it. I bought myself a t-shirt, a mug, a pin, and a shawl. Not a shawl cuff. It's a different kind of thing to put on your shawl, but I don't have it here because I totally forgot. So speaking of Bente, I bought the Virginia tobacco. So I bought 5 skeins because I want to do the top that's on Knitty. It's called Gemini. I also happen to be a Gemini because I'm born in June. So I bought 5 skeins, I only need 4 to do the top, but I wanted an extra one just in case I wanted to make a hat or something. But look at this. So here's her logo. Oh. Come on. Focus. You know you want to. Does not want to focus. So it's Arctic Crafts, crafting under the northern lights, because she lives in Norway, and it's fine merino DK, which is 100% Falkland merino. 100 grams is 240 meters, which is 262 yards, and Virginia tobacco. There we go. Now it's going to focus, isn't it? I just want to show you her label. I love her label. So I have 5 of those. The other thing I wanted to show from her is she dyed up, sorry for all the leaning, this setup, I'm not used to this yet. She dyed up a true rainbow. She did. And of course I had to snag it because that's what friends do, right? But this is purple. Purple does that on screen. Like, it's not blue, it's purple. Isn't that beautiful? So this is the Merino Strong Fine, and there are 7 minis, and there's 560 meters total. Yeah. Don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. Not a clue. Had to have it. Just did. The other thing that I wanted to show you is something, she's Canadian, and I heard about her on the Cozy Up Knits podcast from the 4 sisters, and I went to her shop and she had some stuff on sale. And so this is an unknown fiber. It's 115 grams, but it's called Fusion. It's a little more red in person. So this is her label. You want to focus, I know you do. It's the whole face thing. Just can't get it to focus. So that's the one, Fusion. And this one is Harvest on her Squishy Sock, which is an 80/20 superwash merino nylon, 420 yards, 115 grams. It's a little more chocolatey brown in person. This left-right thing, I gotta get used to that again. Come on, focus. I want you to see your label. No, just doesn't want to do it. Ah, there we go. Got it. Oh, had it for a second. Seriously? Anyway. I thought these, there, now you can see the chocolatey brown. That's a lot better. I thought these, oh hey, my nails match my yarn. I thought these would go really nice together in a shawl. Got any ideas? Let me know. I would love some ideas. Nothing too lacy, because Lace and I are not really friends. You know, we're acquaintances, we're not friends. So, what could I make with this? Whatever this is, it's soft. It really is. So that's it for stash. Just going to move my show notes here. Okay. Knit City is the weekend of October 4th. I'm going, and I'll be staying with my friend Marsha, her sister Scylla, and Laura, who comes in from Calgary, I believe. Those are the ladies that I stayed with last year. Sorry, parched. So we have an Airbnb again. Not the one we had last year. For some reason, Marsha couldn't get that one. But it's still a couple blocks away, which is really nice. So I'm literally flying in on a Friday and out on the Saturday night at dinner time. Sorry, not Saturday. Sunday night at dinner time. So yeah, it's going to be a whirlwind of a weekend. Yeah. Shella, who is the baddie knitter, is going, and it's her first time going to Vancouver, and her husband has family there, so they're staying for about a week, and they're doing some sightseeing afterwards, but it'll be really nice to go around the booths and stuff with her at Knit City. I can't wait to see Kim, who is Ginger Snap That. She was at Twist with her husband, who is Mr. Snap That. The Cozy Up girls, I want to see, like I said, PipandPin. There's a couple other yarn dyers, and I'm excited to see. And yeah, so it's going to be exciting. If you see me, please stop me, say hi. I will have buttons, as long as I don't forget them. But yeah, stop on by, stop me, yell at me across the venue. So yeah, I can't wait. The other thing I wanted to mention is over on the Baddie Knitter podcast, who is again my friend Shella. She started a podcast. She has maybe 6 episodes, I think. She just finally created a Ravelry group, and so I've been directing people like traffic, go, you know, check her out. She's amazing. If you love Halloween, anything goth, you're gonna love her. She is having a Halloween make-along, and so that starts on the 1st of September till October 31st, and it's a make-along, so it doesn't really matter. There are no rules, there are no prizes. Chatting, getting to know each other, sharing what you like, and there's some beautiful, beautiful patterns that people are going to be making. Shella's making this sweater that has like a webbing right here, and it's like a dark purple, and then she's got like a creamy white that's going to be like the web part. Beautiful. I thought I would join and use my Turtle Pearl striped turtle toes in the Brew colorway, which was, I think, last year's Halloween colorway. So this is it. Again, the purple looks like blue. It just isn't. And that's the label. I actually have 7 colorways coming. Maybe. And 4 for Bente. Because, you know, I need them, right? I got a few colorways I've been wanting forever, and I got a few colorways that are kind of for the hubby, and they're themed, because every pair of socks I make him are themed. So this is a 75-25 superwash merino with nylon, and it's a 4-ply, 100 grams, which is 450 yards. And as you see, she dyes them so they are perfect. You start at the same end, you will get perfect socks. You just do. And then she shows you the striping on the back. But yeah, because it says right here, we're dyeing for you to match. This yarn has been dyed to be self-striping. Both strands were dyed together. This will create matching socks that can be easily knit 2 at a time. Because matchy, that's what I'm all about. I just am. Like, I will literally recast on so that I get the exact same amount of tail, the exact same 2 at a time socks. If they're not perfect, I will cast on multiple times. And I've done it. Yeah, I have. Because the socks for my husband, perfect. I think I cast on 20 times, but hey, I wanted them to be perfect. He couldn't care less. Socks are socks. So that is pretty much it, except for one announcement I want to make, and I kept it for the end, is shop news. I have closed my Etsy shop for the foreseeable future. They do give you the option to reopen if you want to, but for me, it was just getting a little bit, not for the little guy. It just wasn't affordable. What you make, because I make a lot of stitch markers, what you make for stitch markers and the fees you have to pay it just isn't worth it. I haven't been making a lot of bags, and I figured I'm just gonna stop because I just don't have the time. I have a lot of stitch markers made. I might be posting some on Instagram. If you're interested, you see something you like, send me a private message, Instagram, Ravelry, whichever, and we can make an arrangement and get that done. I probably won't reopen it. Probably not. Just don't have it in me right now. Yeah, that's pretty much that. It kind of sucks because all these indie makers out there are being penalized and more fees, and they want you to have free shipping, which means you've got to up the prices of your merchandise, and the list just goes on. I buy from people on Etsy all the time, and I will continue because it's the best place, the most used place for indie makers to sell. Some people have their own websites, but for me, I just can't. So that's that news. And like I said, if you want something, or if you're interested in me making you a bag or custom stitch markers, I've got a lot of fabric still. We can work out the details via, like I said, Ravelry or Instagram message, whichever. Just reach out to me. Don't be shy. So that's pretty much it. The setup, I forgot how tedious setting up to record is. But I think the lighting is good. Some of the colors didn't show up on my screen. Hopefully when I edit this, the colors will be better, because that's happened in the past. When I'm seeing them and when you're seeing them, it just don't look the same. Hubby bought me the umbrella light, bought me a new camera. It's the same as the old camera, just new, because I loaned mine to my son, and if you have kids, yeah, if I borrow it back, he'll want it when I need it. So for the cost of a new camera, it still is one of the best cameras on the market. And yeah, that's that. So like I said again, thank you for watching. Thank you for your patience and understanding. And knitters are amazing people. That's all I can say. The support out there is amazing. It's just, I can't even put it into words. Yeah. So may the skein never be tangled and the needles always be nearby. I will see you next time. Bye.